Hello, everyone.
That was pretty splashy.
Clearly, this is not letting spirit drive. I hit the I hit the go live whatever a little too quick because that was from yesterday's show and I should have taken it out. But hey, we got a chance to dance a little.
I was driving down the highway, just living my best life there.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you all of you for joining us. We're not exactly sure where David is. He may or may not show up. We don't know. We don't know. He just came off of a holiday in his happy place, Mendocino.
Yep.
And so who knows? Who knows? If he shows up, he shows up. If he doesn't, well, then,
then we'll just make fun of him for the next hour.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, just. And Miv says, yeah, the intro confused the heck out of me. Yes. Me too.
It was quite lively, though.
Yes. Yeah. Arthur from Arthur Ease Your Mind did up that little intro for us for when we do letting spirit drive. So it's always I enjoy listening to it because you can't sit still. That music starts, you got to start moving. Yeah, exactly. So hello to everyone that's here. Thank you so much for joining us. I wish I could say hello to each and every one of you individually, but just know that I appreciate you being here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Double check your subscription to make sure that you are still subscribed. Things, sometimes the algorithm does weird and wonderful things and people think they're subscribed and they're not.
Nope, that's true. I was watching our subscription thing drop today. It's like, we lost 3 today. That usually is a telltale sign that the YouTube algorithm is busy at work, cleaning house, as it were.
Yeah, exactly. And over the last 3 weeks, I think I've lost about 40.
Okay, yeah.
And I mean, it's I'm losing subscribers, and yet I'm getting emails and comments from StreamYard saying, look at your numbers go up. This is fabulous. You look at how many you got here. Look at okay. All right, then fine. So anyway, that it yes, Artist Liz, it is a lot. However, what I started doing just in case, and I will ask you to make sure that you go over and subscribe to Gary's channel, Twin Tarot. And what I used to do in the description of the video is I would post the link to everyone's channel. And then I thought, okay, if we post the link in the chat, they and you click to subscribe from the chat, it will acknowledge you for a day or two and then it drops you. So what I started doing was saying, David's channel is Tarot by the Bay.
Yes, it is.
Gary's channel is Twin Tarot. So encouraging people to go directly to your YouTube page and subscribe from there. So Yes. And Grace says, yeah, her algorithm has changed, and I now have to go searching for my favorites. There you go. There you go. So,
Indeed.
yes. Yes. Did you post your midnight video last night, Gary?
Yes, I did.
So, hope Suzanne, go take a look.
It was a grab bag video. It was titled Grab Bag, and I did a reading on Governor Abbott and his love affair, all the love emails he and Elon are exchanging.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
what was the other one? I got to look it up. Once I recorded, I forget what I've done.
I know.
It was so funny when Dave and I first met with Linda G. She was sharing that, you know, after she does a read, like she completely doesn't remember what she did.
No.
And I thought that was so interesting. And now I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I'm totally the same way now.
Yes.
Oh, the other was the other part of the grab bag was shifting public opinion on immigration. There was a Gallup poll that came out that showed a sharp change in public opinion on immigration, where more and more people are supporting it. Even the Republicans. The Republicans had like, you know, a 30-40 point swing. It was really tremendous. And it's just one of those things where people they were probably in their mind, they had an idea how this was going to work, and now they're seeing it in practice, and there's like, no, I don't want any part of this. This is not what I was signing up for. And
well, exactly. I think most intelligent people would recognize that immigration is something that, yes, we do need to keep an eye on. Not only because we want people to be to have access to a better life and a happier life from what they had, but to also be able to recognize there's a difference between immigrants and refugees. Huge difference. Refugees, they have to leave their homeland through no fault of their own. And they generally leave with the clothes on their back. That's it. Immigrants, on the other hand, come with skills. They generally come with money. They have, they're investing in home purchases and so on. So immigrants bring value. Refugees ultimately do bring value. You just have to take care of them for the first little while.
Gotta give them some time.
Please.
And what I'd love to tell MAGA is, you know, I want you to stop and think what would have to happen and how bad would it have to be that you would get out of your house with the clothes on your back and maybe what you can carry in a backpack and then walk from Texas to Canada.
Exactly.
All right. How bad would it have to be to make you do that? Leave all your worldly possessions behind and walk. And then you start getting at least an appreciation for what these people must be going through to try and get to the United States. And there's not a lot of empathy, and you just kind of hope that eventually some empathy develops there.
Exactly. Because a lot of these people, they especially with the refugees, they would go back in a heartbeat if they could. But you know, do you want to go back to, you know, possibly losing your life when you leave your home to go buy a loaf of bread? You know?
Grace is in Texas and she's considering it.
Yes. Well, there you go. Come on up here. I heard a rumor a little while ago that apparently, and I didn't look into it, so I have no idea whether it's true or not, but that Canada was accepting refugees from the U.S.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Well, you know, frankly, there are some. You know, it's God. If you criticize dear leader, you know he's coming after you. You know, it's just, you know, who's the gal that's over in Ireland? Not Ellen DeGeneres. Is it Rosie O'Donnell?
Oh, could be. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and he's like, oh well, she wasn't being very nice. She's being critical. So I'm considering revoking her citizenship, which it's not a thing, Donald.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's willing to voice that is frightening as hell.
I know. And Connie B, absolutely agree with you. She says, I'm Native American. We aren't going anywhere. This is our homeland. Absolutely. And I think, more than a few people sometimes need to be reminded of that.
Mm-hmm.
That, when you get right down to it, if you are not Native American, you are an immigrant.
Yep.
You are the child, grandchild, great-grandchild, whatever, of immigrants, people who came here and contributed to the country. So none of this, I can feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand up when I hear someone say, well, get out of my country.
Oh, God.
You don't look Native to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, blonde hair, blue eyes. Yeah, no. It's not going to work. Not going to work. Yeah.
That's right.
And yeah, because it's America.
America.
Yeah. No. And Connie B and Innocent Potato. I am the end of the month. Well, on the 26th, the Saturday, I'm going to be going to the Tsatina Nation powwow just outside of Calgary in Redwood Meadows, which is actually just a stone's throw away from where Trump was at the G7. So, really, really looking forward to that. Once the Stampede is over, that's my next big event is the powwow. And I love going and getting a little infusion of reality. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So, believe it or not, I did have a few things that I thought that we could look at.
Wonderful.
Well, yeah.
I'm completely open to ideas because I got to put a reading out tonight. I have no idea what I'm going to read on it. So
there you go.
Give me some ideas here.
Absolutely. So, yes, Trump has now given Putin 50 days, basically, to end the war. Sign a peace treaty, do whatever, but there's going to be, as my father used to say, hell of a heavy trouble, something anyway. There's going to be hell to pay if Putin doesn't comply, doesn't do something. He said, yes, we've had conversations, and 4 times I thought we had a deal, and then Putin backs out. Of course, Putin backs out. Of course. So what I thought that we could take a look at is saying that, he's giving Putin 50 days to come up with something. Is that code for you got 50 days to do all the damage that you can? So, yeah. Yeah, I just...
Well, okay, that's kind of an interesting thought exercise there, because remember, he was going to give Iran 2 weeks, and then he bombed them 2 days later, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's really don't think you have the full 50.
No. And yes, Putin has already said that no, there can be no peace treaty until the underlying issues are dealt with. There are no underlying issues.
I think the underlying issue is all of the troops that you put into Ukraine. And maybe, and then if you want to go back a little further, we'll talk about Crimea and all the troops you've got in there. And yeah, that's the underlying issue. And maybe once we address that, then we could talk about a peace and maybe repatriation and rebuilding, because there's a lot of buildings and infrastructure in the Ukraine that needs to be rebuilt.
Absolutely. And yeah, the idea that, well, what Putin wants is, to protect Russia from, and any interference that might come in from the Ukraine if they happen to join NATO, so on and so forth. Dude, cry me a river. Like, the things that you've been doing all along. Yeah, it's not working. What'd you get?
Oh, let me throw. So does Putin really have 55 days? Okay. Foundation of the reading. I've got Mother Russia.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Let's see the main clarifier. Heartbreak and betrayal. This is Trump looking at Russia's, the words Putin says versus the actions he takes. Trump wants to move this thing forward. He wants action. He wants actions to be taken, because if we take the actions, we can start making money. We end this war, we put this behind, and then we can start making money. That was our agreement. But underneath it, gotta make sure I got the right number of cards. Underneath it is, you got that Page of Swords is like, okay, this is kind of like, this is your chance. I'm giving you one last chance type of a vibe. Don't act like a little boy swinging this cardboard sword wildly. This time to step up. Basically, I think he's done. And that Page of Swords could also be Trump's allegiances starting to switch to Ukraine and supporting, because Trump likes a winner.
Yes.
You got that whole World Cup fiasco where he actually took the trophy.
Yes.
And then he took a medal, and then he crashed the stage when they're hoisting the replica trophy, because the real one's in the freaking White House. Yes. Trump is always going to be on the side of the winner. That's why he jumped in with Bibi when Netanyahu decided to go bomb the crap out of Iran. That was Trump's like, Israel's going to win this, so I got to be on the winning side. And so that's his whole MO, is I've got to be on the winning side. And so if he sees that Ukraine is going to be the ones coming out on top, he's going all in on Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So on the trophy, I think FIFA presented it to him. Now you can read in between the lines whether, I'm sure FIFA would have preferred to give him a copy of the actual trophy, but he took the actual trophy and they had to create a second one for the game.
Yes.
And then in the medal, he just pocketed, and they just sort of let him get away with it.
I mean, why not? Why not? Yeah. Sherry says, didn't take long for all the players to shuffle him to the back and then blocked him from the camera. I thought it was hilarious. Absolutely. Absolutely. And rightly so. Like, you don't insert yourself into
you've got nothing to do with this.
No.
This whole game had nothing to do with you other than it was in the United States. I've got excuse me for a second. I've got a cat that wants to be.
All righty. Okay.
I have a hunch I know why too. What's going on? Are you hungry? You are. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Don't they just know exactly how to communicate with us? They certainly do.
No question in that.
Yes. Yeah. And you're right, Rose Blue. There was 100,000 people that booed him, and it was audible. It was audible. No matter what he did, people were booing him. And I wonder how many of those poor players that are representing other countries played, but also made sure that they stuck together in only certain places for fear that they might get picked up and shipped off. What does ICE care, right? One immigrant is as good as another. So, yeah, I think I think you're right. This is what Trump is trying to do now is to policy overhaul. He has already indicated that the U.S. Would be willing to provide Ukraine with weapons in a roundabout way, where they wouldn't sell them directly to Ukraine, but they would sell them to a neighboring country, and that neighboring country would transport it into Ukraine. So he is trying to kind of shift that policy. He doesn't realize lacking readiness. He's not ready for some of the things that Russia is going to do. And I think that the message sent to Russia is, yeah, you've got 50 days. How much damage can you do in 50 days?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he's not really prepared and ready for that. Something is going to go sideways on him because he's mourning a loss. And whether that is loss of support, which it could very well be, I'll tell you in a second. And he may have to call in some military control. So it is entirely possible that he's already walking back his distaste for NATO. Remember how he was just, oh, NATO, they're, oh my God, yeah, they were horrible people. Until he said that he wanted, yeah, NATO affiliate countries or countries to put up 5%.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Here's the tricky part. As of 2023, and I got this off of the interwebs because they got everything on there.
Yep.
Yeah. So the other partner countries have praised him and said, "Oh yes, yeah, we'll do 5%. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to do 5%." And while he's busy patting himself on the back, he doesn't realize that in 2023, the share of the U.S. GDP that went to NATO was 3.36%. So all of a sudden, it's going to go from 3.36 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Well done, Skippy. Well done.
Well, some of that 5, I think 1.5% of it can be used for infrastructure, so strengthening bridges, improving communication networks, stuff that is tangentially related to defense. And basically, they're already doing that. So that was like a quick 1.5% gain right there for the NATO countries. Yeah. And I think the other thing is like the first check-in period is 2030. So it's going to be, 2 years after he's termed out of office if he's still around. So
no,
but when you drew the card mourning the loss,
yes,
to me that's his relationship, his love affair with Putin. That Putin betrayed him too many times, and
yes,
remember they were so close, and he understood him, and they had this great relationship, and Putin would do anything Trump wanted because of this great relationship.
All he had to do was make a phone call.
Yeah.
Once he's elected, he makes a phone call, and that's it. The war in the Ukraine is over. And yeah, he was interviewed on BBC, and what he said in terms of Putin was, "I'm disappointed, but not done." And he was pressed on whether he trusts the Russian leader, and he replied, "I trust almost nobody." Which, that's a sharp contrast to, well, he told me that he had nothing to do with our election, so of course I believe him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yep. It's total turnaround. And yeah, he's he also, that the stance on NATO was he recently just had a meeting with NATO chief Mark Rutte, and all of a sudden he's a fan of NATO. And NATO countries are doing a great job, and you need to kind of protect everyone along the way, and on and on and on. So yeah, I think he's changing his mind. I think you're absolutely right. He can see that the people are behind Ukraine, not Russia. So yeah, definitely going to change allegiances. So as Putin has already said that there can be no peace treaty until some of the underlying factors, according to him, are addressed. This may seem like a silly question, but is he going to use that in order to continue to just do the drones and the bombing and everything in Ukraine? And is this his way of pushing NATO to take a stand? Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so foundation is I've got the world. I got the whole world in my hand. So I got the whole world in my hand. This is what he's been, the excuse he's been selling the world on, or at least his own country, right?
Yes.
But the world is also the end of a cycle too. So he may just be trying to hang everything he's got on this last bit. They rushed in recklessly. Now the outcome is uncertain on what's going to happen. You've got the star card. It's it's the snark in me basically says, prior to the war in Ukraine, Russia was widely regarded as having the second best army in the world.
Yes.
And what they've proven in Ukraine is time and again they have the second best army in Ukraine.
Yes.
So he's losing his star power, and underneath it, oh God, 10 of Swords. I think he's looking at this as his last. This is his last stand. Is kind of what I'm getting from this. Mm-hmm. That Putin, the underlying issues, it's an excuse to keep going because this is it. His whole the only thing missing was the legacy card, the 10 of Pentacles. Yes. This is his legacy. This is what he's betting his whole legacy on. And he can't back down. He has to come out victorious. Otherwise, he's a loser. And
exactly.
When you're a dictator and you're a loser, Swan Lake starts getting played.
Exactly. I think that what I thought was really, really interesting. Okay. I got that, Putin right now is trying to balance priorities. He is trying to find a way out for himself that doesn't brand him as a loser, that he can walk out and say, he won. This is a very selfish agenda, and it always has been. He has always been his desire to have the Mother Russia return to the glory that it had in the past is not going to, it's not working. He can't make it happen no matter how much he wants it. I then get concede defeat because there's a deal made. So he might very well be forced by, I don't know if I would say he would be forced by Trump. I don't think that he sees Trump as a threat. I think, Trump is like that mosquito in the bedroom that, you kind of.
More of an irritant. I
Yeah,
suspect what that could be is basically Trump greenlighting a whole bunch of equipment that NATO can now ship to Ukraine, and his generals basically saying, "We're done. We can't do this."
exactly.
We have the manpower, but we don't have a method to get through this. And it could just be the generals and the oligarchs deciding that it's time to
Yeah,
concede defeat.
yeah,
Like I said, with Putin, as if you're a dictator like that, you can't lose.
yes,
You have to win, because if you're a strong man and you're not strong, you're not going to be the man.
yes, exactly. And I just want to point out here, or hold on just a sec. Oh, I thought I had started, but I guess I didn't. Okay. Rose Blue had a question. I'm going to try to find it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, will NATO attack Moscow?
Moscow specifically, or Russia in general?
Well,
I mean, the question was Moscow, so
yeah, let's go with Moscow. Will they? I mean, that's kind of their seat of power. So let's see.
Okay, so I've got the Nine of Cups, hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. That's not a dream I want fulfilled.
No.
You've got the Five of Swords. You want to keep fighting when you should be walking away. You've got Three of Pentacles, collaborations, people talking, people working together. Stuff going on behind the scenes. Then you got the Devil card. You basically latched on. This is the low vibrational corruption that you've latched onto. To me, I don't think these cards are telling me that NATO's attacking. I think what this is, the oligarchs are going to rebel. The people who really are in power, that can kind of gain, sort of consolidate their power, because this is kind of our oligarch card.
Yes.
It's like Putin, you should be giving up and you want to keep fighting. And now we're starting to work together. We're recognizing that we need to unhitch ourselves from this. Exactly. And Swan Lake will be playing. My feeling is it's not going to be NATO that attacks Moscow. It's going to be his inner circle is going to implode on him.
Yeah, I think so. I get they're easily bought. So whoever is going to be kind of at the forefront of taking him out, can be easily bought. This could also be the lifting of the sanctions and so on. That yes, the oligarchs get together and say, no, we're with you at the helm, we're losing too much. We're losing megabucks every single day, so it's not going to work. I also get crypto uncertainty, and liberation prevails. So I think that I agree with you. I don't have anything in here that would indicate that NATO would actually go in there, but it could be collaboration, not only with the oligarchs, but between different nations that are close by, to just kind of look the other way as the soldiers are moving in. I think that a lot of them are going to start to reverse course. That they can see that this isn't working out, and they're no longer willing to give in to the intimidation tactics. They can see more and more that Putin can he can talk a good game, but what's he going to do? Kill all his generals? Kill all the leaders? what? And then he's going to go to the front line and fight it all himself. So yeah, that's not going to work. And thank you, Acadian Proud. Let me put that up there. Thank you very much. It's very generous of you. And she says, where was FEMA acting administrator David Richardson during the past week while Texas was responding to the floods? He finally showed up today for photo ops.
Well, in defense of David Richardson, now this was insight that was shared on Beau the Fifth Column when Beau was actually doing the broadcast. Now Bell at the Ranch. He said basically when there's a natural disaster like that, the folks that are addressing it, they really don't want the political leaders showing up. At least not initially, because they've got so much they're doing and so much that's going on. They don't want that distraction.
That makes sense.
It could just be that Richardson was waiting for the critical part of this, because the critical is usually the first 48 to 72 hours. And then showing up because it's like, okay, now they've kind of got a handle on things. They're on top of it. Now I can come in and distract them and take my photo ops, right? So it's one thing they need to show up, because if they don't, then everyone's like, why didn't you show up? But then they need to show up at a time where they're not in the way. So I could probably be okay, so Garden Chicken. No, Beau did not do a recent video. This was a previous video that is probably a couple years old. But that was the message that he had shared in that video, is that, basically they don't want the government leaders there initially. let us put out the grease fire in the kitchen first, before you come in and pose next to the stove with a fire extinguisher like you're going to put it out, right?
Exactly. And you know what, that absolutely makes sense, that on top of everything else that, while we're trying to save people and do this and we have a list of 1,000 things that we have to do. And now I have to try to figure out a way how I'm going to get you from the airport to where this is happening so that you can stand there. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yep.
It does. And thank you, Dolores. That is very generous of you.
Thank you, Dolores.
Yes, absolutely. And I will remind you guys, we've got 415 in the chat, right? 16 in the chat right now. Yay! Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I really would like to get back some of these subscribers that I lost, because the algorithm is doing whatever it's doing. So yeah, be kind. I'm an old woman. You don't want to make me cry. Okay? So as if. But yes, please like, share, and subscribe. And then make sure that you go over to Gary's.
Twin Tarot. And which is the Twin Tarot with Gary.
Yes. So yeah, make sure you subscribe there. And as long as you're doing all that, go over to David at Tarot by the Bay. Might as well give him one. So
David put out a video recently. I don't know if we talked about it the last time on the last Taco Tuesday. It was on the Simpsons writers and predicting Trump's, the end of the Trump regime. And that video did almost 200,000 views. I checked it out yesterday, and he was at over 180,000 plus views, and he probably picked up a couple thousand subscribers from that video. So he's over 40,000 subs at this point.
What?
Yeah, he and Libby are just, they're going gangbusters, those two.
Yes.
You know,
Oh, that is
the Twin
fabulous.
channel was finally starting to chip away at David's lead. Not that David and I are competitive. No, not at all. Two twin boys about the same size, competitive?
Yeah,
Never.
no, not at all. Thank you, Jason Vincent. That is very kind of you. That is very, very kind of you. Yeah. Oh, and then he says a gift for
Yay!
membership. Thank you, thank you.
Right on.
Yeah, yeah. Jason is a fabulous supporter of the channel. He really, really is.
Right
So
on. Jason.
I appreciate him very, very much. And yeah, and Sherry, hello, Sherry, Voices from the Swamp. I did kind of wave at you when you came in. I don't know if you saw me. She says, yeah, geez, I'm trying to just hit 10,000. Yes, me too. Me too. So, yeah, absolutely. But I think that is fabulous that that David is doing that
Yeah,
well. That
both
you guys
David
are
and
doing
Libby are
that
just
well.
they're just doing so amazingly well. I've you know,
Yes.
Dave and I are competitive, but I'm always cheering them on too.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. And there's, I distinctly remember when one of the videos that he put out, and it was like he picked up 1,808 new subscribers.
Wow.
And he had sent me a text with it like, what's going on? And it's like fabulous, fantastic. I'm doing the dance of joy. I'm cheering him on. Because you know what? That's what we do in this community. We cheer each other on. We're glad for each other's success. It's not a race, right? But we'd like to get there, right?
Yeah, well, that was one of the things that I noticed very early on was how supportive people were of each other in this
Yes.
community. That
Yes.
was one of my first and very early takeaways was like, wow, it's like you said, it's not a competition.
Yes.
That, oh well, this person got it, so they're clearly doing something right. It's really, people are very supportive. I know that we've gotten a lot of comments. It's like, why don't you do a collaboration with this person? Why don't you do a collaboration with that person? And I would love to, but there are only so many hours in the day.
Yes.
And it's sometimes it's just hard to get everyone's schedules aligned. And then it's also when you're collaborating, there's you want some chemistry, you want some
Exactly.
like a common denominator, if you will.
Yes.
So like if I'm collaborating with someone who does tarot, but they're doing tarot on some other non-political topic, it's very tough for the audience because I'll give you an example. Jimi Hendrix opened for the Monkees in Hawaii.
Uh-huh.
If you are a Monkees fan, you probably weren't looking for Jimi Hendrix.
Yes.
And if you were a Jimi Hendrix fan, you probably weren't sticking around for the Monkees, the headliner group.
Exactly.
So it was sometimes it's that synergy. You got to find that good pairing up where it's the people collaborating are complementing each other.
Exactly. I think that is the biggest thing. Is that there has to be some chemistry. Yeah. Otherwise, it's like a marriage, right? You can't just marry anybody. You want to find the right.
Well, no. How much you want to fight with somebody?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. I could see myself fighting with you 30 years from now. Yeah, let's
the next 25 years. Woo.
Yes. Yes. So, okay, what else did I have on here that I thought we could take a look at? Okay, well, I'm not really, so much interested in doing a reading on Epstein because,
don't blame you.
Yeah, it every time that I touch on the subject, I feel like I need to go have a shower and scrub myself off with rubbing alcohol and all that kind of good stuff. But
well, I got something that we can read on, because
what?
this is something, it does relate to the Epstein files. I have not read the article. I just saw the headline because I powered up my phone. It says, in a rare moment of friction, House Speaker splits with Trump on Epstein files.
Where are my pearls?
What did Mike Johnson say? Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, called for the Justice Department to make public documents related to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein breaking with Donald Trump over an issue that is royal to the president's right-wing base. So now you've got Mike Johnson saying, hey, time to release the information there.
Yeah, it is time. Okay, I heard Trump was saying something about, oh well, yeah, let Pam Bondi do her job.
I'll leave it up to her to decide. And
yes, and whatever, and what was, oh, just a minute. I made a copy of it because I thought it was just so interesting. Oh yeah. Okay. Here we go. The president's frustration with the ongoing public interest in Epstein were on display last week in the White House when he responded to a reporter's question with, "Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?"
mm-hmm.
Like, people are still talking about this guy, this creep. The first thing that came to mind was, oh, are we still talking about who won the 2020 election? How about Hunter Biden? Are we still talking about Hunter Biden, Barack Obama? How about Hillary Clinton and her emails? Are we still talking about those things? So the idea that, he's trying to distance himself and calling Epstein a creep, that's not going to, it's not going to work out very, very well for him, particularly when Pam Bondi is on record as saying, yeah, I've got the Epstein info on my desk. Yeah. And I'm going to review it. Oh, nothing to see. We looked into it. Yeah. So, yeah, the question, I guess, in a roundabout way, after I've done my little blah, 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 is apparently, yes, Ghislaine Maxwell is appealing her sentence.
Yep.
Or has filed an appeal. And considering that she was convicted on the information that was in the Epstein file, if that information is gone, so is her conviction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Popak did a whole thing on that.
Yes. So, is she going to be successful in her appeal?
Mm-hmm. Oops, upside down.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got the Page of Swords. Here's a new opportunity to attack those charges, right?
Yes.
To attack the conviction. Queen of Wands. I think what I'm getting from this is she sees an opening that she can take advantage of, because she's going to have to force. SCOTUS didn't take her appeal yesterday. Was it at SCOTUS? It's taking out. I'm sure this is something that she thinks she could take action on.
Yes.
So this is probably the Attorney General's office about, okay, well, how do we handle this? And it's a very emotional issue. There's strong emotions around this, and I just Gazelle Maxwell card, if you will. If we're successful, I get all of my freedom and find things back.
Exactly.
But if SCOTUS isn't taking her appeal, or if her appeal isn't going to be heard, then I don't know if it would go to SCOTUS though, would it?
I don't know. Well, not yet. I mean, there hasn't.
Just it would, I imagine, go through an appellate court,
Yeah.
And then start making its way up.
Yeah. You don't just go right to the top. So, yeah, we'll see what happens now. Who was it? Indians. That Jay Rico said that they heard Dumpy ask SCOTUS not to take it up. Well, of course not.
Well, yeah, he doesn't want his name out there.
No. No.
Okay, so she filed an appeal to SCOTUS because she lost her lower appeals. Okay, thanks, Rose Blue.
Okay, thank you, Rose. Rose Blue always has the best information.
She should start a channel.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I get that. Yeah, she's actually going to get some support and assistance in terms of what it is that she wants to do. They can only push her away for so long before people are going to start asking questions. I do stepping down. I don't know if that's her stepping away, saying, "Oh, never mind," or if that is her information leads to someone else's stepping down. I think it's a strategic move on her part, and she does retain some authority. I think it's entirely possible that appealing her sentence could be kind of fodder that she throws out, and while they're fighting over that, she can come in with something else that they're not paying attention to. You know what I mean? Like I know she has indicated that she wants to, or she has said she's ready to address Congress. That if you want to know what happened, I'll testify in Congress. And oh my goodness, a lot of people are not. No.
Wasn't Marjorie Taylor Greene was kind of alluding to that months ago when they were talking about what's this guy, Beavis, the guy with the big forehead.
I know who you mean. I know who you mean.
It'll come out in the chat for a minute.
Yes.
When they were talking about, all of the stuff he was doing with underage girls, and Marjorie Taylor Greene was like, well, if we're going to break that public, Matt Gaetz, thank you. If we're going to make Matt Gaetz's discretions public, then how about all the rest of the people? That'll be like half of the House of Representatives. And she's probably right. I think Santos even kind of alluded to it when he was kind of going under the microscope, that there's a lot of people that are attacking him and throwing him under the bus who are just as dirty and have as many skeletons as he's got. And I don't know if you can hear me. Marina's frozen on my screen. Am I still coming through, or are we frozen? Whoop. Oh dear. Now it's just me. Oh my goodness. Can you still see and hear me? Because I don't know if this is still going. If Marina's off of it. Yay!
I don't know what happened.
Well, the internet connection went glitchy about 20 minutes ago, and then it's like, okay, well, it seemed like it went through. But yeah, okay. So they can still see me. So if you drop off, I'm taking over the I'm taking over your live stream. It'd be like the Outer Limits. I'll start putting this weird graphic up, and there's nothing wrong with your live stream. We have taken over.
Yes. Well, there we go.
I remember as a kid that would freak me out when they were showing that. It's like, you know, I was like probably like 5, 6 years old, like, oh my God, they're taking over the TV. Ah.
I know.
Sine waves going around in circles and stuff.
Yeah. Yes, Edward Kenneth, Mercury retrograde. Yes. It hits in a couple days. Sometimes it hits some people a little early. Yeah, earlier today I couldn't get my my messenger on my computer. And it just wasn't connecting. I couldn't understand why. And then I thought, oh yeah, Mercury retrograde. Okay, no problem. I'm just going to leave it, and it's going to sort itself out. And you know what? It did. So
there you go.
So there you go. Now apparently, Marjorie Taylor Greene is really upset with Trump wanting to provide weapons to Ukraine, and she has kind of teamed up with Steve Bannon, and they're saying, well, you know, this is Europe's war. It has nothing to do with us. Oh, This is not what I promised my constituents.
There you go.
So can we all agree that Marge is not happy? So you know, I think that Trump is losing a lot of support within the MAGA movement. And I think that she's, you know, she can say all she wants, that she's not happy about what's going on over there. But you know what? If the minute that Putin went into Crimea, if something had happened then, we wouldn't be facing what we're facing now.
Yep. Well, you know, and the fact of the matter is, if she's unhappy about what's going on in Ukraine, she can't be happy about what's going on in Israel and Iran and Israel and Gaza. I mean, if there's a European problem, it's more Israel and Iran, and Gaza is more of an issue. You know, we're defending a NATO. You know, I guess Ukraine's not a NATO country, but you know, there is a strategic military advantage to helping Ukraine, because they are weakening Russia and Russia's army incredibly. I mean, to the point where, you know, they're not even a threat anymore. It's, you know, China's, now we can just focus on China and their army.
Exactly. Yeah. I still remember that there was a time when, you know, all that Russia had to do was do a little bit of, you know, saber rattling, and you would think, oh, well, you know, they might have nuclear weapons and they could do this and they could do that. This war with Ukraine, like you said earlier, it's proven that they're not trained. They don't have the equipment, and what they do have is decades old.
Oh yeah.
You know, that the people aren't. It's not a functioning military in terms of what we would understand as a functioning military, right? Yeah. Where if in the US and in Canada, in a wartime situation, you take out the general, there's 3 or 4 right behind him who can step up and who can take over and who can do what needs to be done to move things forward. That is not the case with Russia. You take out the leader and everybody else stands by and goes, what do we do now? Yeah. Which way are we going? right? And that was very evident at the beginning of the war when they didn't know what they were doing. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh my gosh. Okay. You guys, thank you. We've got 419 in the room right now.
Yay! Good job.
Yay, thank you, thank you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and then go over to Twin Tarot with Gary and David and subscribe over there. And then I'm sure that we'll all find out why David couldn't join us, and I'm sure he's got a really good reason.
Well, I imagine work has probably been pretty busy since he's been out of he's been on vacation the last 6 working days. So I'm sure he's probably been up to his armpits in catching up on things.
No,
I haven't talked to him. Literally, I've not spoken with him since before he left. So I have no idea how his trip went. I have no idea how work's been going. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on that I have no idea. So,
well, maybe when he started driving home, they just stayed on the highway and they said, "We don't stop till we get to Canada." Boom. Don't let Louise.
Shelley would be all over that. No, he's home. I've got the "Where's My Brother" app on my phone, and he and Shelley are home. But who knows? As soon as I find out, I'll throw it. I'll let you know.
Perfect. So thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. We'll be doing this again on July 29th. So make sure that you come back and join us for that, and we'll have the full complement. There'll be 3 of us. So by then, hopefully, there will be some more interesting things to read on. I do have a feeling that next week, particularly by the 24th, there going to be some shit going to hit the fan.
Oh,
yeah. It just feels like it's working up to it. So I'm not exactly sure where it's coming from. I haven't picked up on any of that, but I think things are going to happen. So
can I jump in real quick? Shelby Lisa just left a comment about her daughter trying to commit suicide twice after her modeling career ended. She's in recovery now. So just to share, I'm going to London with my family on Thursday. We had a death in the family. It was my niece, who was 13 years old. And, 13 is a tough age. And Laura and I were out there at the beginning of December because Laura wanted to go see the Christmas markets, and we got to spend some time with, her sister and her kids. And that was the last time I saw her. And that's why we're flying out on Thursday. And it's just, I know the age of our audience is a little bit on the more experienced side.
Yes.
So this is more like for your grandkids and your great grandkids. But just, if you've got teenagers in your family, reach out to them. You don't know what demons they're fighting, and sometimes it's just a kind word, or just let them know that they're special. And it just a little something like that could change someone's life forever.
Absolutely, and you're right. It is that is a very, very difficult time because everything is very immediate. You cannot conceive that things will be better.
Yeah.
You can't. It's, when they say, that's the end, you've ruined my life. It's the end of my life. At that moment, that's what it is. That's what it feels like to them. So
sure.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Let them know that they are loved and that they are valued and that they have a purpose. even though they may not recognize right now what that purpose is, they will. They will. And particularly if, when they're trying to compare themselves to others,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to things like modeling, girls particularly are so much more than just their looks. I wish that that was something that they could understand, that beauty comes from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just love them, folks. Just give them a hug and love them. Yeah. Ah, I am so sorry to hear that, Gary. That
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
not, and that is, oh,
Yeah. I just can't even imagine what my brother-in-law and sister-in-law are going through. That's just. I know how much it affected me and affected my wife, and for them, it's exponentially tougher.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? Well, if we as a collective can send healing light, love, light, compassion, anything, any kind of energy that is going to help them along the way, let's all send it to them, and they can take from that whatever they need to get through the days.
Amen.
And yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Gary, thank you for doing this with me.
My pleasure.
And yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time. So take care. And wait, I'm not going to take that out because we don't want to play the outro.
Well,
No.
God, after I took the mood down, we probably need an outro like that.
So take care, all, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye for now.